Hello, this is Hussam Hourani, and today we will talk about Python scripts, and we will give some introduction about Python and how to use it in Orange data mining. Before that, for the people who doesn't know the language Python, Python is a programming language. It's very famous. It's becoming now the trend in the IT sector, and it's well shaped with new technologies, and it's most of the people, most of the companies now getting into Python, and Python is supported by Orange data mining. So for the people who would like to work in Python, especially in the AI and data mining and data science and data analysis, they can use also Python to customize, for example, some algorithms. They can create new algorithms in Orange data mining, and they can also build on the current customized code where they can do some specific customization to produce, for example, new learners, or to manipulate the data the way they want. They can also do data cleansing. They can do many things. So why Python? Python, it has a simple syntax that mimics a natural language. So when you write a Python program, you will feel that it is near the English language. So it's not that difficult really to learn Python. It's easy and to learn and to use. It's versatile. This means that Python can be used for many different tasks. It is efficient and reliable. It is open source, which means it's free to use and distribute. You can use it in big data, machine learning, cloud computing, and many other topics. There are hundreds and thousands actually of Python libraries and frameworks that you can use and you can utilize. Also, Python has a large and very active community. Now, to use Python, you will use in Orange data mining, you will use something called Python script widget. This Python script widget will let you first connect with other widgets. Second thing, you will be able to write your own code within this widget. So to be able to do this, inside Python widget, there are key objects and key variables that you need to understand and use, so you can communicate the data back and forth within the workflow that you are working in. So we have first the output data. So the output is the output from this widget to other components. So for example, you can click on the data to connect this object to others, and the data will be the output data that you're gonna set in Python scripts. Normally, if you want to just pass the data from the previous to the next item, you use out underscore data يساوي in data. We have also other things like learners, classifiers, and objects. You can use them, and these are the variable names. This is for the output, and for the inputs in this widget, you use in learner, in a class, a classifier, and an object. And this is when you try to connect after you use this widget, you will find that you have these in place, so you can connect, for example, to data. The naming for these objects within the scripts themselves, you can use objects like orange.data.table, orange classification.learner for the learner, orange classification.learner, and the objects that you're gonna be used. To make things very simple, and because it is very simple, especially for the people who are familiar with the Python scripts, we will directly go to Orange data mining and see how we're gonna implement this. So I'm gonna do very simple examples. The first example I'm gonna use is I'm gonna use file. I'm gonna connect to iris table, and for example, let's set this to target, okay? And from here you can use data table, and you can view all your data within this object or within this widget. Now let's connect to Python. if I connect to Python, I will go and search for Python script. And from Python script, let me just connect to, for example, also data table. So initially, if you click in data, you will definitely have something which is these values, because we have code here, okay? And this code, I'm gonna just eliminate it. I'm gonna remove this code. So the first thing, this code, I'm gonna do run. So there is nothing in this code, okay? So there is nothing in this code. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create simple examples. Suppose that we would like to do the following. We would like just to pass the data from here to there. I need just to pass the data as is from here to there. If you make it empty, nothing will appear here. However, if we put this code, which is output underscore data يساوي input data, output learner يساوي input learner, and output classifier يساوي input classifier, if any, of course. Out object equal in underscore object. If we do this and click run, what will happen? It will pass the data from here to there. And as you can see, we have the data already there, so we can connect the data. And if we click run, you will see all data as you can see here. So this is the data, and this is the original data, as you can see from here. So this is the original data. What we done is we wrote a Python script here. So what we are telling that all inputs, all outputs equal to the inputs to this widget. So we did not change anything. We just passed the data from the previous widget here, which is this data set, to the next object. So this is the code you write to move the data or to transfer the data from the inputs to output, and the whole thing will work smoothly, as you can see. Now this is exactly the output, and also you can connect to other widgets like scatter, for example, scatter plot, okay? And from scatter plot, you can see that this is the relation between the bit length and bit width. This is sorry, this is the first example, and it's straightforward. So what we done here, we just wrote a Python script, which is this script here, that moves the data from here, from the input to the output. So we did not change the data, we just passed it to the next objects, as you can see here. So this is the most simple example, which is just passing the data from previous to the next. Right. Now let's go into more advanced things, and I'm gonna use also the same thing. I'm gonna use the iris dataset, okay? And from iris dataset, as you all learn, or as in this example, for example, we've seen all the data we did. This is the data set itself that is associated with the iris dataset. So what we're gonna do, the first thing I'm gonna first example, connect to Python script, okay? And what I'm gonna do, I will use already I wrote this code, which I will keep it in the GitHub for you to use. And I'm gonna remove this whole code, and I'm gonna just put two things. What I'm gonna do in this code is I'm gonna print the data within this object, so within this widget, I mean. So what I'm gonna do is to print input underscore data. Also, I'm gonna make the output of this data equal the input underscore data dot copy. Take a copy from the input and pass it to the output data. So when I say run, you will see all the data as you can see here. So this is the first thing. So I am able to view the data. These are the symbol length and width, and bit length and width, and this is the class. And as you can see, I am able to print out these data within this widget, okay? This is the first thing. So, and also you can connect it. If I click run, this is the output, and you can still also use the data table. Okay, so you can view this data. Why? Because I copied the input data from here and I make it output data. Okay, so this is the second example I showed you. Now let's go into more advanced examples. I'm gonna connect also to Python. Okay, and I'm gonna create a new example, which is, I'm gonna just remove this. This is by default the default script. You can delete it, and by the way, you can add the scripts, you can update the scripts, you can get more scripts, you can import scripts from file, you can, from this one, you can save selected script to another file, so you can write a code and you can save it into another external file, and you can do the unchanges. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to another example, which is a little bit more advanced. Okay, so I'm gonna do the following. The first thing I'm gonna print is the input data. Second thing, I'm gonna print the attributes just between the single quotations, and I'm gonna extract the attributes and output them here. So this is input dot, I'm gonna print the in underscore data dot domain. Domain means the attributes names, I mean the attributes names. Now we need also to print number of rows, and this is the number of rows. It's just len, you put print len in underscore data. Okay, it will get you the length, how many instances you have. Also, I will just pass the data to the output data, the input data to the output data. So when I click run, as you can see, the first thing, printing the data, which is this data. Second thing, the attributes word. This is the attribute that I just printed, and it will return to me the domain. The domain, the attributes, which are the symbol length, symbol width, bital length, bital width, and the iris class. So I am able to print out these attributes in my code. The last one is the number of rows. This is the number of rows, and I printed the length, which is len input underscore data, which is 150. So within this one, I am able to print out the data. I'm be able to print the attributes, okay, and also to print how many instance I do have, how many records in the data set, and I do have 150. Okay, when you click run, okay, you will also you can connect this to data table, as you can see, and I passed the data as is. But what I done here is I am able actually to print out specific things like the domain, which is attributes, and the length, how many instances I do have in this data set. This is the third example. Let's also take more examples. I'm gonna go into Python script and let's do more advanced examples. I'm just, as you can see, take it step by step, and we'll see how we're gonna do this third example. I'm gonna just copy the code, okay, and I will use from the code this example. I will clean this one, and I'm gonna just put this one. So what I'm gonna do here is the following. The first thing, I'm gonna make the output data equal input data dot copy. So I'm just copying the data from the input to the output. Second thing, I'm gonna print the data that is, which is the output data dot x of 0, which is the first record in this data set. So we have 150 records, or instances. How can I print the first instance? I can print it by doing output underscore data dot x of 0, or you can put also n underscore data dot x of 0. So this is the first instance, okay? The first instance, it will print, as you will see in a bit. Also, I'm gonna import a math library. This is how you import libraries in Python. So I'm gonna do import math, okay? And then I'm gonna create a new variable called temp, and in temp I'm gonna make it equal to math dot seal sealing, which is seal of data out data dot x of 0 of 0. Note that these are square brackets. So I am able to access the first record here. This is the first record, and this is the first value in the first record. So I'm gonna get the symbol length from the first record, and I'm gonna print this value. So when I say run, okay, what it does is actually, so I'm gonna print out the first record. This is the first record, as you can see, print out first record x of 0. So this is the first value, 5.1, 3.5. This is the first instance. The first instance, as you can see here, this is the first instance. This is the first instance, and I just printed here. Second thing, I am printing the seal value. Sealing means whatever value this will be, which is this value 5.1, I would raise it to the ceiling. Ceiling means you're gonna round it to the up level, which is 6 instead of 5.1. So if it's 5.1, 5.2, whatever between 5 and 6, it will go into 6. And this is print temp, and this is the 6 value. So in this example, I am able to print the first record in the data set, and I was able also to print the ceiling value of the first value, which is 5.1. I make it 6. Okay, I make it 6. So this is how you access the data, and this is how you access the records. Okay, and this is how you access the value. So if I wanna, for example, print the second instance, I will put here 1. So the one will the one, okay, and I'm gonna just print the second record, which is the index of 1, because as you know that the index in Python start from 0, 1, 2, 3. So the second record is 1, and let's just print the second record, and let's do ceiling for the first value. When I click run, this is the record, the second record, and to ceiling 4.9, it's gonna be 5, as you can see here. And this is the second record. As you can see, I'm able to access this, and this is the beauty of Python. Now I am able within Python to access the dataset, specific record, change the record, change the value, and this is the exactly purpose of Python within Orange Data Mining, to be able to access the datasets, do manipulations, do many things the way that you want, to create new algorithms, do whatever you want. Okay, this is the second example. The last example in this lesson will be, I'm gonna use also Python scripts, and also I'm gonna just connect it to data. You don't have to connect to data, but I just would like to pass always the data from this scripts to the next one. Okay, so this is the third example. I'm gonna just remove this, and I'm gonna use, okay, the third one, and I'm gonna explain it to you in a bit. So this is the code that I'm gonna explain. It's gonna copy the data to output data. Okay, so we can see it. So we can see it here. So this is the output data. Okay, but what we're gonna do, I'm gonna import NumPy library as NB. So this is the name of this library. This is the NumPy, and we're gonna just have an alias NB. So my data, this is a new variable, equal n underscore copy the data. So I'm copying the data also, the input data that comes from this widget, okay, to my data. And what I'm gonna do, nb, okay, dot round my data. I'm gonna do just rounding whole x, whole data. Okay, I'm gonna round everything, okay, to 0, to 0, okay, and comma my data dot x, and I'm gonna print the data. I'm gonna print the data, and also I'm gonna make the output data equal my data dot copy. So I'm actually just rounding the data. I'm actually just rounding the data. If I click run, as you can see, it rounded all the data. We don't have dot anything, so it's 5 point nothing, 4 point nothing. Okay, and let's just check the output. Okay, this is the output. So these are the rounded values, as you can see here. Let's open the original data. This is the original data. Okay, let me open both windows. Okay, and see, let's just take the first 3 records. This is the first record, 5.1. It came 5, because rounding it will make it 5. 3.3, 3.5, it will go to 4, because any percentage that is 0.5 or more, it will go to the upper level. Any percentage less than 0.5, okay, it will go to the lower level. 1.4, this is 1.4, it went to 1, 1.4 to 1, and the last one is 0.2, it went to 0. Okay, the second record 4.9, it's gonna be 5, 3, it's gonna be same 3, 4.4, 1, and 0.2, it's gonna be 0. Okay, so this is the rounding. So I am able within through this code, okay, to change and eliminate the data to be just rounded data. Okay, so this is exactly what's happening in this exercise. What we've done is just we took few examples. I explained smoothly how to access the data, how to use the data, etc. And this is the output from all these Python scripts. I hope that this lesson was straightforward and simple. And I will do 2 more lessons in Python scripts, and how to do more advanced examples, and how to deal with the algorithms, the learners, etc. And we will see you in our next lesson. Till then, enjoy Orange Data Mining, and we'll see you there. Bye.